Day 3. I've been going good. Been a good Catholic boy. Not fat once in 3 days. And yeah, benefits, not seen many, but it's early days, so who knows. So yeah, that's my update. Back to my life and why I'm doing this. So I basically suffer with social anxiety. It's a phobia of people. Basically, certain situations with certain people in certain places stresses me out, and that anxiety can manifest itself in many ways: excessive heart rate, sweating, overthinking, overanalyzing, to the point where I almost can't function sometimes, and panic attacks on like rare occasions, but it can happen. And what happened was yesterday, day two in the afternoon, I basically had a panic attack. And what happened was, I story time. I messaged this girl who's a friend, and she didn't respond for about 5 hours because she was busy with work or like what I don't know. But I hadn't seen her in a while, so I was like, "Fuck," that's not great. But I wasn't thinking too much of it. And then I ended up seeing one of her mates on my library floor. And because our campus is massive, like 40,000 plus students, I was like, okay, this is like a weird coincidence. So I went over to like start talking to him, and every single room, study room, has like a door in front of it made of glass, so you can see everything. It's really eco-friendly. Like, it's really cool. And basically, so I followed him because I was gonna be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, just be friendly, that kind of thing. And then, as I was like walking behind him, like I was like catching up to him, I saw he turned left, and the girl was in the room, and I was like, fuck, like this, it's a bit stalkerish, and like I didn't want her getting like the wrong idea, overthinking things basically, freaking out about nothing. So I kind of walked like right in front of the study room because it was like at a corner. It was at a corner, and I kind of just looked out the window over here, and she was like right there, like adjacent. And I just pretended to look out the window for like, I was like, for like maybe a minute, and then I went and sat down, and I was like, fuck. She's seen me, her friends have seen me, they're all laughing at me, they'll think I'm weird, they think I'm a stalker, like all these things. And I sat there for about an hour thinking about it, focusing on it, overly, overly analysing the situation, and it got to the point where I pretty much had a panic attack. For me, like I just felt very ill, and like my heart was pulsating in my stomach. Like my stomach was like beating. I could literally like see it like moving up and down. It was really quite scary. Uh, and I massively freaked out. And I sat there for an hour trying to continue working because I've got exams. Like I've got to focus on my stuff. But it was like all these negative thoughts, all of these scenarios which I was creating in my mind that I was then reacting to unconsciously, emotionally, but then also consciously focusing on that and being like self-attacking myself basically. Shitty thoughts. To the point where, yeah, I pretty much just had a panic attack. And I had to leave. I just grabbed one of my friends and I was like, yo, let's go. I can't stay anymore. Like, this is just, I can't work. I can't do anything. And yeah, then I left. And something very interesting happened. Something which I wasn't really expecting, but afterwards, like maybe 10 minutes after I'd left, I felt very calm. Very, very calm. Like, overly calm. It was really interesting. And like, I understand the science behind it, and I'll explain that in subsequent videos. Like, I'm trying to keep this somewhat short. But it was actually very beneficial to me. That panic attack, that literally scared the shit out of me. About 2, 3 hours later, I've been probably the calmest I've ever been in my life. And I do work with like a therapist. Like, I don't have therapy, but I do work with a therapist, like looking at anxiety and how that like affects people. and like so I have some knowledge on it, and like obviously like I've done my own research. And yeah, I felt incredible afterwards to the point where like I was like, fuck, I need to go back, I need to go study, I need to grind, and like nothing could phase me. At that point, I was like, I'll talk to anyone, I'll like do anything, like I don't give a fuck if I see her, if I don't, whatever, like who cares? And I literally that's how I felt. I felt amazing. So I went back to the library, I studied, and maybe 2 3 hours, then I went back home. And yeah, that's been my last 24 hours. It's been fun. Anyway, I gotta go now. Night YouTube, and I will do another update tomorrow. Alright.